I think also if someone here is thinking, what is a good offer to sell, you can think about your own passions. Passions definitely sell. Dominic was just there talking about golf is one passion, woodworking is another one, but also solving problems. There are a lot of products on the ClickBank marketplace and other affiliate marketplaces as well that solve problems. And I've always had my biggest wins when I focused on either the problems or the passions and provided a solution to either one.
You're listening to The Growth Booth, the show focused on achieving lifestyle freedom through online businesses. Whether you're looking for step-by-step strategies to start building an online business, simple game plans to grow your business, or proven lifestyle freedom frameworks, you are in the right place. Stay tuned and be sure to join the thousands of listeners already in growth mode.
Hey everyone, Aidan Booth here. Welcome to The Growth Booth, episode number 49, where today we're getting affiliate marketing insights from a company that has paid out over $5.5 billion in commissions. And this has been a company that has been a pretty special part of my journey. It was one of the first places I started making money online, and they've since gone on to pay out different companies that I own over $100 million. So we know them pretty well. And that company is, of course, ClickBank. And my friend who is on the call with us today is Dom Keenan, and he is the VP of Sales and Account Management at ClickBank, and has been an absolute linchpin. He knows ClickBank inside and out. Undoubtedly my favorite person at ClickBank. Dom started out as an account rep for us 7 or 8 years ago, and has been an absolute linchpin, like I say, ever since, and quite possibly the longest serving employee over at ClickBank, although I can't guarantee that. So Dom, welcome to the call.
Thanks for having me, Aidan. I appreciate it. And no, I've been here 8 years, but we have one employee who's been here for 22, so I'm not even close.
Okay, you got a bit of catching up to do there.
Yeah, for sure.
So, over the last 8 years, we've seen the affiliate marketing landscape change quite a bit. One of the things that I wanted to dive into with you here today is just thinking about the future. 2023 is just around the corner. 2022 is basically in the books at this point. So, what's the state of the industry from your perspective? Someone who gets a pretty unique insight into sales volume that's happening, all the affiliate offers that are out there. What's the state of the industry? Is ClickBank as a marketplace growing?
Yeah, so ClickBank has been consistently growing for the past 5 or 6 years, growing nearly doubled the business over that period of time. So the state of the industry, at least from ClickBank's perspective, is very strong. It was interesting during the COVID pandemic. You had a lot of people who were both interested in making money online and found success with it, but you also had people that were at home clicking on ads, reading their emails, all of that. So that was a big launch pad for ClickBank in 2020. That growth has continued to stick. We continue to grow beyond that. We see significant uptake in affiliates, both in paid media and in email, or primarily the traffic channels for ClickBank affiliates. But the interest in building a business online has never been stronger, at least since I've been here.
Asked me the question of what happened to my businesses during the pandemic, and overall they really took off. There were a couple of instances of e-commerce brands where we were selling some products related to travel, and those ones sort of suffered. But anything related to information online absolutely skyrocket. So I can definitely relate to what you're saying there. When I got started with ClickBank, I want to say it was about 2006 when I opened my account, and I opened it back then as a way to sell other people's information products. So if I was in the dog training niche, I could sell info products about dog training. But it's so much more than that nowadays. Obviously, people can sell their own products, but physical products are also in there, different types of affiliate marketing. Could you talk just a little bit, inform us a little bit about the different ways or the different types of products that are sold on on ClickBank nowadays?
Yeah, certainly. So ClickBank has really built out a robust presence in the health and fitness space over the past 6-7 years. But that's not exclusively what ClickBank sells. ClickBank was founded in 1998, which is ancient in the internet age. But it started out as a digital product only platform, and so it sold digital products exclusively, then later some flat media in the mid-2000s, and only in 2015, I believe, ClickBank started selling physical products. So we still have a wide array of both physical and digital products. And like you mentioned, on the digital side, it's a lot of info stuff. So it may be keto diet guides, right? Or one of my favorite products on ClickBank is a product called TEDS Plans. It's been around since 2011, I believe, and it is a guide on, if I remember correctly, about 2,000 woodworking projects that you can do at home. And it's unbelievable the longevity of an offer like that, where really somebody's just uploading what they're already passionate about and what they already know about, and selling it to people who don't have his level of skill or knowledge. Really phenomenal business. And so there's a wide array of products that are sold on ClickBank. I think people look at ClickBank's marketplace and see a lot of health and fitness products at the top. But there is so much more beyond that. Those just have, there's a broad market appeal for supplements, particularly coming out of the pandemic. People are very health conscious, but I wouldn't let that deter anybody or think that it's health and fitness only. Like we were just talking about, who would have thought that a woodworking product would do really well for over a decade? I mean, that's a very serious business.
What about the commissions? What are the types of commission structures that people can use? I mean, I see people offering 50% commission, some people 30%. Is it always a fixed commission? Is it sometimes a cost per action type thing? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, good question. So ClickBank was founded as a rev share platform, so basically a percentage of the transaction, and recently introduced CPA about 2 years ago. So a flat fee per sale, or cost per action. And I think that occasionally people tend to focus a little too intently on what's the commission percentage. That one only pays 50% and this one pays 75%, so I'm going to take the 75%. Or likewise with the CPA, one pays $50 and one pays $30. But really, that's only half of the picture. The other thing to keep in mind is what's the conversion rate. So if that offer that pays a $50 commission converts at half the rate of the one that pays the $30 commission, then you're going to lose money even though the commission rate is higher. You're not going to make as much. And, I started out here at ClickBank as an affiliate manager, and the frequent question was, well, why doesn't it pay 75? That was pretty common in the info product space back then. And it doesn't pay that much because it doesn't have to. It out converts. And so that's what I always tell people: pay attention to, do the pages look like they'll convert on your audience? Does it have a custom order form? And run a test at it. Test multiple offers. You're not stuck with one or the other.
And what kind of metrics does ClickBank serve up? Obviously, there's a marketplace, and if you're listening to this and you're a bit unsure, I would encourage you to go over to ClickBank, clickbank.com, and you can create an account for yourself within sort of 60 seconds. But once you get inside the ClickBank marketplace and you're trying to choose between one offer and another, obviously we're shown the commission that you stand to make, the amount of dollars that you're going to make. Are there any other metrics that ClickBank shares with the affiliate who's thinking about or sort of weighing up offer A versus offer B?
Yeah. And so keep in mind, when we talk about the marketplace at ClickBank, it's not where a customer would go, but where the affiliates would go to research the offers that are available. And the two primary metrics that most people use are what ClickBank calls as popularity. Popularity is a measurement of sales compared to other offers. So the most popular is going to be the highest performing. And that's on a rolling 12-week basis. So it may not have been the highest selling yesterday or last week, but we're also, we want to provide a broad set of data so people don't think just because something was a flash in the pan that it was the offer to promote, right? We want stability in there. Then the other metric that we also provide and a lot of people rely on is a ClickBank metric that's called gravity score. And ClickBank doesn't publish exactly how it calculates it, but I can give you kind of the 10,000 foot view of what it's looking for. So again, it's calculated over 12 weeks, and it takes into account how many affiliates promoted it and made a sale, and how much did they earn from that sale. So it's really hyper-focused on what can an affiliate expect to perform from it. So what it's trying to filter out for you is, let's say something really niche product that converts really well on a hyper-targeted audience. And I'll give you an example. Somebody asked me if they could sell a welder on ClickBank. This is like this really high-end $6,000 or $7,000 welder that only professionals would use. I was like, well, sure. I don't know that we have a lot of welding affiliates for you, but let's say we did, and that's in the marketplace, right? And one affiliate who has a phenomenal welding audience is making a bunch of sales with it. Well, the marketplace is still going to rank that low on gravity because it's only one affiliate. So the expectation wouldn't be that any affiliate could come in and pick that up and run with it. But the products with high gravity scores have hundreds, if not thousands, of affiliates. The top ones typically have thousands of affiliates that are promoting it. And we're only taking into account the affiliate traffic that's converting. So if you have a lot of affiliates that are sending traffic and it's not making sales, that doesn't count toward the score. Only if it's making sales and paying affiliates commission.
Today's show is brought to you by the Blueprint Academy, a coaching service that I've been providing for about 8 years now. If you're interested in getting one-on-one coaching from me and my team of experts, as well as being able to leverage the resources and infrastructure that I've got in my business, then head over to thegrowthbooth.com/academy to get all the details. I'm passionate about helping people build businesses online, and this is where I can help you. So again, head over to that link, thegrowthbooth.com/academy, and find out how we can help you at the Blueprint Academy today.
Right, so gravity is a good way of sort of assessing two offers, one versus the other, and sort of looking at them in sort of like a global context, if you like, being able to know, without knowing specifics, able to know, well, this one is seeming to make a lot of money, or there are a lot of people making a lot of money with this one. So ultimately, the higher the gravity, the better when you're looking for a hot selling product. Now, you made a point about welders. This is not specific to affiliate marketing, but when I was getting started with e-commerce in around about 2009, I had niche-specific stores. And one of my stores was a store that sold welders. Now, we didn't sell the $6,000, $7,000 type of welder. We sold sort of $1,000 welders. And it was pretty interesting. We were working with local suppliers. People would come to the store, they'd search for a welder, they'd find it. I would then have to contact the manufacturer, get it shipped out. It was all it wasn't as streamlined as it was today. And I'll tell you what, that kind of e-commerce is nowhere near as streamlined as affiliate marketing. So I think affiliate marketing for me has always sort of been like the holy grail of online business, because it really does allow you to sell without needing to do any of the fulfillment. And by fulfillment, I don't mean actually shipping a product. I mean actually looking after the customer, which is where a lot more of the heavy work is. So it really does, tick all the boxes in terms of sort of sit on the beach and watch your money roll in. Speaking of money rolling in, how does ClickBank pay people? So obviously a lot of people are in the United States, but a good portion of our listeners are not in the United States. So how does that work if someone's not in the United States? Is there any sort of differentiation there with regards to getting paid?
ClickBank pays people, there's 3 different options, either every other week, weekly, or twice a week. And ClickBank sends thousands of payments a week, both domestically and outside of the United States. There are still a handful of people that receive physical checks. All payments 20 years ago went out in checks, but nobody really wants a check in the mail because you got to wait for it and go to the bank. So ClickBank either provides ACH or direct deposit or wire transfers. And particularly for the people that are outside of the U.S., if they're paying for media or have fixed costs that they're paying in USD, they tend to prefer a wire transfer because that'll come through in USD instead of local currency. Obviously, it depends on the exchange rate, but then you're not paying exchange fees. And while ClickBank's customer base is for the most part in the big 5 English-speaking countries, US, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand. We do have customers all over the world, so there's, I think, about 30 supported currencies. But the user base, the vendors and affiliates that use ClickBank are all over the place. I've got a couple people visiting clients right now in Thailand. We just got back from Tel Aviv. We spent a lot of time in Europe, headed to New Zealand and Singapore next year.
What do you have to do? What do you have to do to get a visit from ClickBank? Because I'm still waiting for you guys to come down to Argentina or New Zealand.
You're on the books for New Zealand next year, Aidan. Yeah.
Okay. I'll remember that. I'm going to check up on that. Just while you're saying that, I had a look on the app here and on the website, and 190 countries, I guess you've got affiliates in over 190 countries for over 20 years, 5.5 billion paid. I've got a funny story about this whole payment thing. So when I got started with ClickBank in 2006, 2007, I was in New Zealand at the time, and I was getting checks in the mail. I guess I'm not sure if I could get automatic wire transfers into my bank, or maybe the amounts weren't big enough or something back then, but I would get these checks coming in every single week. And I grew up I lived in a small town in New Zealand, around about 20,000 people. So everyone knows everyone. And it didn't take long for every single bank employee to know that I was this guy that was coming in with a big stack of checks in US dollars, which was also strange given that I was in New Zealand. And I never really told them exactly what I did, but I would go in there with literally a stack of checks, and it might be $70 one, $150 the other, but there'd be like 10 of them, and I'd have to fill out this form, like it was the one big long line for each check, putting in dozens of numbers in this, and it would take me like half an hour each time I went into the bank to deposit these checks. But it was always funny because as soon as they saw me walk in, they would start murmuring to each other, "Oh, here comes Aidan. He's got a dozen checks. What does that guy actually do?" And eventually they figured out that I was doing some kind of affiliate marketing. But it was always quite funny. And then it got to the point where one day they said to me, "We're not going to." No, they didn't say it to me. They said the bank policy has changed. You're not going to be able to deposit your checks anymore in a foreign currency. But by that stage, luckily, I was able to get the direct bank payments straight in from ClickBank. So I always think back to that. It was one of the fun, sort of unusual things of getting started as an affiliate in a small town in a completely different country to the United States. So I could definitely vouch for, the non-US folk. It was always pretty simple for me.
I'm sure they were worried about what type of criminal enterprise you might be involved in if you're bringing in checks all the time.
I have no idea what they... that it's a small town. It's innocent folk. I don't think they thought I was like wheeling or dealing drugs or weapons or anything like that. But definitely... And by the way, the average bank teller in this particular place, I'm not sure why it's the case, but they're sort of... people who have been working in the bank for 30 or 40 years, so they're sort of 60s, 70s, and this is going back maybe like 15 years, so it wasn't as commonplace, all these internet businesses back then, so I think that made it even more unusual, and to this day, they still recognise me when I go into the bank, even though I haven't deposited a check in there for about a decade. Anytime I go in, they're like, "Oh, we haven't seen you for a while." Yeah, because I live in Argentina now. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. Always.
I have heard numerous stories like this where the banks start getting concerned. And in fact, I've had to write a letter a couple times to a bank on our letterhead for a client that was very successful, figured out something on the affiliate side, and had to write a letter because the bank ended up freezing the funds, not understanding where it came from, and say, "Oh, no, it's legit. You can call me if you want to know more." And it's always good to help somebody with that. But I always tell them, "Hey, this is the best example of being a victim of your own success."
Yeah, it's one of those good problems to have, as we like to say. So, as we roll into 2023, how do you see affiliate marketing? Again, you've got a very unique insight into this because you see thousands of transactions, you see hundreds or thousands of affiliates. How do you see the space as a place for a newbie to get started? People are often concerned about saturation, just products becoming tired. How do you see that from your vantage point?
Well, I think it's to some extent a valid concern, right? If for nothing else, because consumer tastes are always changing. But I would say that the broader affiliate market does a really good job of adapting and is very creative. So that wouldn't concern me. It's especially for somebody starting out. It's interesting. The cost of media has gone up so much that, similar to what you did, building niche sites, or we used that example of Ted's plans earlier, right? So I actually ran across Ted's plans as a customer. I was building a Murphy bed for our house, a fold-up bed. And so I was on YouTube looking for, examples on how to build it and all of that. And sure enough, the guy who created a video, I'm pretty sure he created it with his GoPro. It didn't cost him really anything. Edited it down, posted it, had 10 or 20,000 views on it, and had his links in the description to both Ted's plans, which I believe that is in Ted's plans, but also had links to the tools that he used, right? Because there's affiliate platforms that will, hey, if you want to use this particular saw, it's available at Home Depot, here's a link, or it's available on Amazon, here's a link. So that is a way to be able to bypass the high cost of media, is that niche quality content that people are looking for. Now that guy, like I said, 10,000 views in the grand scheme of YouTube isn't a massive video, but the people that stayed and watched that, think of how niche of an audience that is. How many people build a Murphy bed? I can tell you it's a real pain in the ass too. But the people that are coming to your video on how to build a Murphy bed are pretty interested in what they're doing and going to listen to those recommendations. So that earned media rather than paid media, I think, it's kind of a sexy idea to be a big Facebook media buyer, a big native ad media buyer, which, a lot of those guys see a lot of success, but it comes with high cost and risk. And so the way to mitigate that is to create niche sites or niche content, like you mentioned. And then the last thing I would mention is capturing the customer if you can. So on that particular video that I was talking about, hey, if you want more, you enter your email address here, and I'll send you my weekly newsletter. I've actually been reading his weekly newsletter for 2 years. And I would imagine, I've done a lot of woodwork. It's not super complicated. I would imagine he spends about 10 minutes a week drafting it up at this point. But he has an email list, so he owns that customer as well, which is very helpful in being able to monetize that person.
I think a lot of people that dive into affiliate marketing really miss out on that whole email component. And when I'm asked about mistakes I've made, I could tell you that probably the biggest mistake I made was in the first 2 years of starting my online business, I wasn't capturing emails. And I think back to the hundreds of thousands of visitors that I had, what that would have sort of snowballed into or compounded into, 15, 20 years later. So I think that's absolutely vital. And there really are ways where you can have your cake and eat it too. So you can get a commission straight out the bat, but you can also get to capture the leads and build a value-adding affiliate side to the business. And that's exactly what we do. In fact, one of the ways that we are doing really well with affiliate marketing right now is actually getting commissions without needing to sell anything at all. So being paid cost per action when someone puts their email in a form or puts their zip code in a form, and oh, by the way, whenever they put that information in, we're able to capture it, reuse it, and make huge amounts of profits as a result of that. And I've still got email lists where I was capturing leads from around about 2007, still sending out emails and still able to make commissions in all kinds of bizarre niches. So I can tell you that when you get into a niche, when you talk their language, when you nurture them, and when you provide good value content that people are interested in, it's like having your own ATM machine almost, where you can send out an email and you're never going to run out of affiliate opportunities. I mean, thinking about the woodworking example, there would be hundreds and hundreds of tools you could sell as an affiliate, like hundreds of books, courses, and so much more. So I think the opportunity is huge, and I feel like every online business should have an affiliate component. It's just too attractive not to have it. So we've spoken a lot about e-commerce over the past few years. I love e-commerce. It's a big part of our business, but affiliate marketing was there for me even before e-commerce, and it really has sort of stood the test of time. So I think that if you're getting started in 2023, you're building out your plans for something new in 2023, I would really sort of encourage you to get on the bandwagon. It's really exciting. You've got marketplaces like ClickBank that make it just so simple, and is something that has proven itself, affiliate marketing, to stand the test of time. So for me, it's as exciting, I think, as it's ever been.
Yeah, I agree. And going back to something you mentioned there, understanding or talking the language of your niched audience, there's so much out there that's easily accessible. Just to give another really quick example, I know we're short on time, but there's a whole subreddit dedicated to critiquing people's golf swings. And so people post, I'm a terrible golfer, but I try. So anyway, I follow this subreddit. People post videos of their golf swings, and then they have like 30 or 40 people in the comments, right, that say, oh, you're doing this wrong, or you're doing that wrong. What's interesting is somebody will recommend, oh, you should switch to this type of golf club, or use a golf glove. I recommend this one, or this golf ball. People are so passionate about golf, and there's so many other niches out there that people are super passionate about. We talked about woodworking as well, that it becomes really apparent what people are interested in. And then you can talk that talk very easily with that hyper niched audience.
I think also, if someone here is thinking, what is a good offer to sell, you can think about your own passions. Passions definitely sell. Dominic was just there talking about golf as one passion, woodworking as another one, but also solving problems. There are a lot of products on the ClickBank marketplace and other affiliate marketplaces as well that solve problems. And I've always had my biggest wins when I focused on either the problems or the passions, and provided a solution to either one. So we're going to talk more about affiliate marketing over the weeks ahead. We're pretty excited about how it's heading in 2023 and the opportunities that are there for the taking right now. And as always, you can find out show notes. You can watch the video of this episode at thegrowthbooth.com. Head over there and navigate to episode number 49. So Dom, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day there today, and I'm going to be expecting a visit from you guys in New Zealand or maybe even Argentina. Now that I know that you do go out and visit some of your clients in Thailand, I'm definitely going to be expecting a visit there. But on a serious note, thank you for all you've done to our business. Like I say, I feel like you really are a linchpin in the ClickBank, at least for us, in the ClickBank business there, and great to be able to have you on and pick your brain a little bit about the insights of affiliate marketing.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Always good chatting with you.
All right, guys, that's a wrap for this episode. Head over to thegrowthbooth.com, episode number 49, and you can get show notes, the links, and all the other good stuff that we've mentioned. And I will see you back here in another week for another episode of The Growth Booth.